everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, the Red Rifle.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And Dalton to throw. Underneath, this is Bernard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Dalton gives to Bernard, and he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. To throw here, Dalton, and this is going to be incomplete. On fourth down, here's the veteran Shane Leckler to punt it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A first carry for the rookie Nick Chubb. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
They go with Chubb on second down, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at...
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Handoff comes to Chubb, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a gain of 11, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Relative. Small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. That's to his running back, complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's the rookie from the U, Mark Walton. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jamie Collins not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Myles Garrett in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And the Browns getting set to go. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
He rifles one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. That his throw is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. He's going to take a shot for the... And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Travis Carey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They couldn't hook up with Decker that time.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
All right, now look at 56.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. 2nd down, Dalton. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Boyd. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Now the Bengals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Dalton here from the gun. He's got his man here. It's Green. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Now Dalton. This is intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And this is caught by Fells, right side. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And give them a gain of 37. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They pitch it to Chubb. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. To throw, Mayfield. He's going to look deep down the field. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Robert Foster with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking, able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, Have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
And as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Dalton now to pass to the left side here for Eifert. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that, because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Throwing, Mayfield. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Third and long for Mayfield. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Taking on the midfield logo. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Leopard! Leopard!
A toss play to Chubb. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run again on first down, Chubb. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carlos Dunlap in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Mayfield now on second down. Underneath for Johnson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. They give him a gain of 38.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A give. This is Chubb. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And it'll be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. Trying to get it to Landry there. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 23 yards on the play. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
To throw on third down. Dalton under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Myles Garrett, who else? He's in there for his fourth sack of the afternoon. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
He's going to look deep for Perriman. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
A second down throw for Mayfield. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the third quarter. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. From the gun, Mayfield. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from him.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
He'll get it up the middle. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Duke Johnson, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of the times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals getting set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A big play there for Cincinnati. 42 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And Dalton to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Myles Garrett in there yet again. My goodness, make it 5 sacks for him now in this one game alone. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Passing, it's Dalton. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Decker. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 3rd down, Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Browns defense stands tall. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there.
He's got daylight. The 20, 10, and he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point right down the middle, and it is 28-0. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here. We'll do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week. Trying to get some.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Travis Carey. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. They were looking the way of Decker that time. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. There he goes left side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Extra point up and good by Bullock, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he gets it down to the 32. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku. And that'll bring up 2nd down. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football. I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football. On 2nd down, Mayfield again. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And this one is incomplete. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Cleveland, it's another win for them, and you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
My business on the front page. I had the vision back in 12th grade that I'd be killing with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my